And we're back.
Yeah, well,
Welcome back.
if you would let me, finish my former sentence, and that's basically when I asked her, could I please get a crumb of pussy, madame?
Oh no.
I thought I was the hard dog.
Oh Jesus. So yeah, welcome back, people, to another Rising Sun episode. I can't be bothered to recount what happened last time, but suffice to say, they fought, and then they fought, and then they fought some more, and now they're still fighting. So,
And
Voss, it's your turn.
and they're Necrons.
Wraiths.
But I mean, it's the Necrons, though.
It's the Bane Blade.
I would rather fight the Bane Blade.
What, crewed by a drunk Scotsman?
Okay. Let's take in all the fucking potential targets here, shall we? This fucking
just
mess.
this place.
Yeah, honestly, I'm wondering if my crack grenade can even do as much damage as my bow.
Well, given that we put like 5 crack grenades down, and not one of them actually died to the crack grenades,
Well, it did damage them severely, that's the thing.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're just not dead yet.
Yeah. Really weakened them.
I could fire the anti-armor rifle, but it would probably kill, or at least badly injure, Ron.
Yeah.
That's a
It would hit.
sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Oof.
It would hit this whole fucking corridor. I would have to hit this swarm of scarabs not to not murder him.
Well, look at it this way. If you manage to
How
kill
about I drop
one
a
of
grenade
these-
here and hope for the fucking best?
Look
Wait,
at it this way. If you
just-
manage to kill one of these, then that's one less hit on Ron by them. So you're technically
Well,
down.
the thing is, the problem is not the massive fuck-off Scarab and his pals. It's these two cunts.
Great. Right,
Yeah.
that I can deal with. How about I just take my bow and I fucking snipe
Actually,
all these cunts?
one of them was blinded. So shoot the one who's not blinded.
I shall do just that. Aim and shoot with a bow.
Imagine having memory that good. That's epic, dude.
Okay.
Well, it's directly related to my survival, so...
The spiders are going to be tougher, but the wraiths are going to be a lot more of a problem.
Here we have a simple math problem. One can kill us quickly, the other we will have to take a long time to kill.
Well, the big fuck-off spider is almost dead, to be honest, so...
So it's 26 damage, pen 6.
So this is on the second Wraith, right?
Yes, the not blinded one.
That gentleman. I did question him about the thing, and he said he'll duly noted he'll get right, see what he can do, but he so far hasn't fixed the dodge macro, so...
Fair enough. I guess we'll just have to manually roll agility still then.
I fail. Let me just try something.
Oofed it.
You're hitting, what, 26 damage with pen of 6?
Yep.
Okay. Let's have a look. 26 minus 11. Okay, your bow strikes true against the robotic monstrosity, dealing out a nice chunk of damage. Will.
Well,
Oh dear, what's happening? Why did the bot just die?
The bot's dead.
When you shot your
switching
bow,
to-
it killed the bot.
switching to secondary
You just use rhythm,
engines.
yeah. Rebooting the bot.
Switching to secondary engines.
Yeah, this is why I have 2 bots on my server. In case gay shit all this happens. So yeah, Bo, you deal a good chunk of damage with your shot from your bow.
Good stuff.
Anything else you like to do?
Nope.
Okay, we now turn to Ursula. Or not Ursula,
You mean
Johanna.
Okay then. You have the notes all done up?
Yep, so
I'll just find the ones I made on it, I think.
it's a very hard psychic focus test, basically.
Yes. Right, so... Any other requirements?
For now, no, but you get the feeling there might be a cost to doing this action further down the line. Bargains with the powers of the Immaterium seldom come without a cost.
In that case, Johanna, look to Kenny. Tiny as he might be, he is still, short as we've known him, part of this group. It's not often you see an intelligent morph thing. So, Johanna will reach down towards Kenny and lift him up in her arms, or in her hands, I suppose. Say, I'm sorry. Just... She kind of turns to Civ and says, I'm sorry.
What do you mean?
Kind of just holds Kenny for a moment there and says, sorry for always being such a pain to you. Sorry I can't be of more use here. And I'm sorry I couldn't protect your friend, as strange as he might be. And she'll almost accidentally mumble out, Prince of Purple, Conqueror of Red, Father of Green, and King of the Strange. Please, I don't want much out of you. I do not truly wish to be your champion, or to ask any power of you. All I want is for my family to be safe. And she will hold Kenny close to her as she'll attempt the ritual.
Alrighty. Make your usual roll, but make it at a plus 20, so minus 10 for your incantations and for your words, and also add Psi Focus, Psi Hood, anything else you have on you for gear.
I'll be... Alright. Anything else? No. Okay. And...
You can push if you want.
I will push. I was going to push, actually, so... If it's alright by you, I can just tell you by how much that would increase it.
Yeah, I think that would make it 140, the DC.
Yeah, it would essentially... It would increase it by 30. So 120,
actually, yep. Okay. Right. So.
Oh, wait. No, it would be... Would it? Oh. No, because I wouldn't be sustaining anymore while doing this, because that would take up the thing. Sorry. A few modifiers I've forgotten from last time.
Okay.
The final total is 130.
That's fine. That is more than sufficient to complete this incantation. So, after saying the words and holding little Kenny close to you, you feel a change within him. He kind of just falls out of your hands and seems to after a few seconds, he kind of looks at you, Johanna, almost dead in the face, and says, "Yes, young Psyche, I shall be free." And he slowly starts to expand somewhat. And you see all the wounds just knit themselves. Not so much knit themselves, but just change somewhat. And you just feel this ripple in the warp next to you as though something's trying to tear through. And eventually, Kenny just seems to swell to a size. Nullis, could you roll me an athletics check at +10 to kind of get out of its way?
Don't forget the picture if you still have it.
Oh yeah, I've got it. Don't worry.
+10.
Yeah. Alright, Nullis, you managed to sort of bamf away from where the creature's at. Off to the side. Just get out of the main the main area where it's expanding. Eventually, though, the creature swells to such a size that it, for a moment, Johanna, you just feel this terrible feeling in your gut, as though a load of warp energy just expands for a moment, and with a great, wet, glistening pop, something appears in its place.
Oof. I was expecting that joke, but here it
And
comes.
taking its place is Kenny Gu Lamp, the Moth God.
What?
Say hello to the successful result of the chaos ritual Moth God polymorphization.
Yep.
Also known as Runtlamp.
What?
Unfortunately.
And it looks to you, Ziv, and says, "Direct me, brother."
We shouldn't forget the roll on the psychic phenomena table.
Oh, yeah. Make that a +20.
Mm-hmm.
Because demonic presence and because you've been pushing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got lucky there.
I did. Essentially, this would happen more or less the moment he appears, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. After all the warp energy is expelled. So let's find the chart. Where is the chart? 45. Bloody tears. Blood weeps from stone and wood when 3d10 nears its psyche. If there are pictures or statues of people inside this area, they appear to be crying blood. So...
Oh, well that's not creepy at all, is it?
Oh, yeah.
And is there blood kind of seeping through from the walls a bit as well?
There is. So, yeah.
I also have a very important question. You said from stone, wood, and other, like those kind of materials?
Yep.
Would the Necrons count?
They do not count as
Okay.
they're Xenos constructs, if you like.
I just thought that it would be very interesting if all the Necrons suddenly began weeping blood.
No, the Necrons are of a different sort entirely.
I feel that would make them more unsettling.
Yeah.
And finally, we have to roll the duration, right?
Yep, this is a... I'll just do that quickly. So your psi rating was 6.
My current, my psi rating before any modifiers was 4.
11 rounds. But he may stick around. We'll see how this goes.
Well, the base duration is 11 rounds, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So, I'm going to count that as all your actions, Johanna.
Yeah, okay, Chaos Ritual always takes all your actions.
Ziv. You feel the staff in your hands, or scythe, I should say, grow rather excited at the appearance of Kenny the Moth God. And you feel it rumble with delight.
Oh, not bad. Okay, I'm gonna have to move in closer to try to get.
I will say the moth has flight, so and it's currently hovering, so you can move past it.
Yeah, I think I'll move out. So I can't move the pickaxe, unfortunately.
Oof.
But I will try a ranged attack. Let's see. That has, yeah, range of 30. Can't aim. Would there be any modifier to trying to hit this wraith?
The range of your staff's 30, right?
Yeah, the range of the range attack.
You're at short range, and then add a +10 for its height, its size.
Okay. That's the sort of odd thing about the daemon weapons chart. Well, the macro right now is, for some reason, it doesn't ask the range.
Doesn't have the range. I believe it's 30 meters, but
Yeah, but it doesn't ask for like if it's standard range or.
just add it in at the end then with the modifier.
Do you have it as a melee weapon or as a ranged weapon?
Well, it's both.
Probably have a different profile for each then. One is a gun, one is not a gun.
I mean,
Well, one is ranged, not outfit a gun.
Pasta. You could just make, 2 entries for it. One for the ranged attack, and then one for the melee attack.
That's what I have done.
Okay.
But it doesn't have a range.
I just find it frustrating that since it's daemon weapons macro, it doesn't. Okay, it says under Ken Rockmouth, but I just used the wrong ads.
You are currently missing, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's it. Much.
Don't forget to command Kenny.
I will. Do I request him or do I wait for his turn?
He has his own initiative tracker, so you can control him then. I will give you control of him, in fact.
Mothman.
Mothman, can't you see?
Go. Anything else, Civ?
No, that's about all I can do.
Okay. Ursula, please remove one of your tokens, and also, can you try and roll me a willpower test at +10 to snap out of it?
I can attempt this, yes.
Yep. I'll permit you to do that because it's been a while since you were shaken up.
Nope.
You're still somewhat shaken up, but you can still remove one of your tokens.
Another token or the same? Or just the one?
Just the one you just removed, yeah.
Cool.
Okay, now we turn to the wraiths. This one's gonna try and hit Ronby. Is it a bit of a penalty because his optics have been blinded somewhat by the flash of the grenade? Not grenade, rather, the conversion field. Let's see. It's going to try and hit you with its whip coils again, although it doesn't really mean much, because I believe you're still bound, aren't you, Ron, by the previous ones?
No, I'm free.
But he's currently free.
Frag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Right, it's going to try and aim and strike. By minus. It missed. It's going to attempt to hit you with the claws. And it also misses. Okay, the second one, who is not blinded, is going to try and do the same thing to you. It is hitting. Would you like
parry
to...
that shit?
You cannot parry, but you can use your deflection field. Because these are whip coils, they're flexible.
Oofed.
Yep. This is why they're hilariously good.
Yee.
Your
That's
field
deflected.
manages to repel the coils of energies they try
Could
and
you
wrap.
just roll for damage to see if the blinding effect procs again?
No.
Actually, it procs on 14 damage or more.
Okay. Flashbang. What's the range on it again? Let's see.
I don't know, it works like a photon flash.
Photon flash, yeah. Let us consult la book. Photon flash. Blast 10. It has one of the largest blasts in the game. Huh.
Last 10 sounds not reassuring.
Oh, lovely. Okay. Give me a moment. I'll work this one out.
This is so sad.
Okay, I'm gonna be nice and see if this guy can actually sort of absorb the grenade for you first. Hold on, let's roll.
Because he's a moth.
Not the moth, the wraith, but I'm gonna take the moth into account as well.
Sorry, I don't under. What is actually?
Flashbanging us.
Yeah. Do you actually have a conversion field, Ron?
Yeah, I do.
But don't you have one
in
built
the
into your
power-
armor as
It's
well?
in the shield.
Oh, is it built into the shield, right?
Yeah.
Does it actually say it's like part of the shield? Because there's a specific field that has this effect.
Yeah, well, it has the same stats of a conversion field, so I assume
That doesn't mean it's a
cons-
conversion field.
Huh.
Yeah. So. Never mind. Let's ignore that for now.
Yeah, we'll look into that later.
Yeah. Because I was wondering if you were like using a different kind of field for the effect, but anyway. So, it failed to hit you with its whip coils, but it is going to try and hit you with the claws.
Bloody machines!
However, it misses you, very luckily.
Wow.
Yep.
They're not rolling well tonight.
No, they're not. The
It is the
swarm.
of God's blessing.
The swarm is going to try and strike Ron.
Be consumed by the light.
Would you like to parry the swarm as it swarms all over you?
Nah. I'll let my shield deflect it. At least
Okay.
try to.
Roll the
Achievements.
deflection then of D100.
Haven't you been taking all of the attacks? Anyway?
I couldn't because I
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, the reflex
I've been-
coils.
they've been stun locking me pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the swarm crawls all over you trying to get you with their ghost disruptors, but your field holds up under the constant barrage of like little insects poking at you. Yeah, pretty much. Some of them die, in fact, almost in the attempt.
Like one
Is
of
it
those
me or
bug
is it
zapper-
raining?
It's like a bug zapper lamp.
Nulla, what would you like to do now that the presence of a moth god has just appeared before you?
I apologize to Small Bean that his snack went away.
Ooh.
I guess I'm just gonna charge that thing and try to ignore the monstrosity. To the best of my ability.
Just best not to look at it, son.
Let's just continue as if everything's okay.
Yeah.
I don't have time for this anyway. Would charging like to right here? Would that be a charge?
I'll allow it. I'll say you like run up to Voss, give him a bro fist, and then charge it.
Watch this drive.
All right, cool,
So you can charge this dude, this bro.
bro.
Go kick their ass.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right. Let's use the Mason Mall rifle. Any modifier with like the hatred and all that shit?
Yeah, so plus 10 for hatred, then another plus 10 for the size, so plus 20 in total. Hell yeah.
Plus, is there ganging up?
Yes. These guys don't have combat master, so that's a good point. So,
Although it doesn't really matter.
it doesn't really matter too much. It's gonna try and be a cunt and dodge. We'll see how well it does. It fails, so you are indeed hitting it. Okay, so it's...
Does he have swift attack? Or similar?
And the Mason Mall like well does have a power field as well.
Yeet. Alright, I'll factor that in. So, let's see, pen of 7. Alright. This boy just took a healthy chunk of damage.
A healthy or an unhealthy?
Very healthy. In fact, let me just calculate that very quick.
Well, it depends where you're standing.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at here. Because for him, it's probably not very healthy. Well, him probably isn't the right word there, but
With a mighty swing, the mace crackles its power field against the monstrous wraith, blowing out many internal components. It's looking quite winded by the strike.
Oh, I have a question by the way. What does concussive do?
Oh, that's a good point. Concussive, yay!
It needs to make us basically a fort save or be
A
stunned.
fort save, yep. So,
So I was looking at that and I was like,
Con-
that looks
get
like a melee
Concussive
bleeds.
is one of the most broken abilities in the game.
I should have probably mentioned that I had that before now.
that's cool. We'll learn. Okay, let's have a look for concussive. Let me just double check that.
What's a toughness check versus...
Toughness check with the parentheses, yep. So what's the concussive 3?
It's just concussive.
Just concussive, okay, that's just a neutral test.
Oh. I've also got felling 4
Oh, that's
balance.
important actually. Hold on.
and hatred versus melee.
Yeah, I can count for that. So yeah, it took actually more damage for the felling. Let's have a look. Okay, yeah, you managed to yeet it a good blow, but the concussion doesn't affect its higher functions at all. It still seems to be operable.
Big Xenos brain.
Yeah. Big robo brain.
Does the felling do anything more?
It did, yeah, it did extra damage because it took off some of its DR.
Nice.
I believe that's it for your turn.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jane! Good old Jane, who just fucking yeeted that boy in the last session with the photo campfire.
Again, there's not really a line of sight. So I think
I mean,
I'm
you can shoot, but you'll basically be at -20 to hit anything because of all the...
Yeah, I don't want to take that risk, as the -20 includes 5 to 6 allied feet.
I don't usually incorporate hitting your allies into the system, but it's up to you.
It's still the it's trying to shoot around people seems like I'm pushing it. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to try and just overwatch it on that Wraith if it even so much as twitches.
That's fine, yeah. If you want to specifically overwatch the Wraith.
Because they've gone up in the past.
Yeah. Okay, overwatch for Jane. Valenia is going to try and unjam her pistol. Because that was jammed. Let me just find out what technical knock does, because that's a fun talent. I believe it's like you roll a d10 and you just unjam it. Technical knock. Oh wow, you don't have to roll, it's just a half action. So yeah, she unjams her gun and then takes a pot shot at the wounded Wraith. Do do do. Do do do. No. Ah, I forgot +10. So she is hitting, in fact. Let's see if the guy sponges it with his thing. He does. Yeah, she fires a gamma pistol at the guy, but his field absorbs the radiation that washes around him. Necron Swarm! Yay!
Hooray.
Hooray! Hooray! They're once again going to nibble at you, Ron.
Yeet. Right, power field, don't feel me. Actually, yeah.
Oof. Oof. Would you like to roll your field, see if it sponges them?
Yeah, I would.
Okay, 55.
Hard fails barely.
Oof.
Whoa.
Oh boy! Oh no! Okay, Ron, you take 1 damage that's unmitigated due to the Gauss rule. Yeah, so the swarm just swarms over you, right? And they just go all around your field, pecking away. They don't... Well, they manage to get past your field, right, but then they're trying to get through your armor. And it feels like, they're not getting through. But then one of them manages to burn its way through with a Gauss flare on one of the bits in your neck joint, and you feel a sharp pain in your neck and a little bit of blood as a flare just flays apart. It's like, ouchie, my bones. That's your reaction. So yeah, you lose 1 hit point.
1 wounds. Ow.
Yeah, with no reduction as well, because this counts as a crit, so...
Oof.
I thought that only counts when it passes your armor.
No.
No, if your armor would normally soak it all, what it does is it reduces it from a crit to 1 damage.
1 damage is unmitigated.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, it's a little chip damage, basically.
Yeah.
And Necrons get on 9 or 10s. So Necrons are surprisingly good at chip damage, because of the Gauss flares.
Be glad it's not fucking the first version of their rulebook where, oh, you rolled a 6, glance that tank.
Yeah.
Back
However,
when Necrons were Terminators.
the second swarm can't get quite get past the first swarm, and they miss as they all queue up in a cutesy little line of scarabs. Kenny Gulamp, the Moth God. Pasta.
Hold on.
Kenny Gulamp.
I'm sure you've had time to look over his stats. He's pretty Gucci.
Yeah, he's damn.
I will say he has a psi ring of 4, and he knows all the Nurgle powers in the core rulebook.
Oh shit. Yeah. I have considered some of those. I have also considered some of his inherent abilities. So at least for the moment, I'm thinking he's going to go into a frenzy.
Okay.
Just gonna double check.
I'll let you do it for free because he's a literal Moth God.
Does he have the one Does he have that one psychic power where he can just go into a frenzy as a half action and still cast other psychic powers?
Don't think he has that one.
No, I don't think so.
Because normally you can cast while raging or while frenzy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably
Oh.
not worth it, to be honest. It's he has a cool head for now.
No, but I am considering using a spell later, so I might actually want to go into that frenzy because that's.
I mean, you could go into
red
frenzy
power.
now and just have him eat a bunch of things with his tendrils, but it's up to
Yeah, I think that's.
because they have warp weapon, they ignore armor,
He does have.
and he has toxic 4.
Yeah.
He's not a slouch in melee either, so
Yeah. Especially not now. Yeah. Because now he has toxic 4 and warp weapon.
also he has hover, so he can like ignore zones control, so you can literally just go yeet like that if you want.
Yeah. I think he'll try to go, yeah, actually just straight forward, but first he's gonna go into the frenzy.
Okay. Yeah, so it's frenzy. I'll let you do it for free, just because I'll just say he has battle rage or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, just gonna out the bonuses, well, the modifiers.
Who are you attacking?
Straight forward, I'll show you there. Thinking swarm.
Attacking the swarm.
Just adding the bonuses, which will be very good when I do end up casting a spell. At least the particular spell I'm thinking of.
Yeet.
Can I add in things? So, yeah, he's charging it indeed. Let's see. Hit. No aim. And since he has, I do believe, just double checking which particular skill was. Yeah, Berserker Charge.
Yep.
So he gets plus 10 on top of that.
Yeah. So you do the charge, then plus 10 for his berserk charge. Oh no!
Jesus!
Wait, does he have fate points? Did I give him fate points?
You did give him a few points. Yes.
You might want to use that, yeah.
I will. I will definitely use.
Alrighty.
Charge, and then.
Bad luck will not stop Kenny.
Cannot be stopped!
Okay, roll the damage. Oof! Oof!
Yes!
Damn, son. Where'd you find this? Okay, let me just check something.
Wrong one. This is the one.
Okay. Is it Toxic 4, right? I gave him?
Yeah, you gave him plus 4.
Yeet. Alrighty. Let's see how this goes. Oof. Okay, Kenny, the moth god, fucking just flies in there screeching his horrible guttural sounds, and just starts. His tendrils just start flying out and just fucking smashing these scarabs apart. And when he doesn't kill them, he just leaves like pools of acidic goo and bile just lying on the floor, which fries even more of the scarabs, and just whole swaths of these parts of the swarm just are decimated as he launches in. And they're looking pretty depleted now. The Canotep spider is gonna, upon seeing this new challenger approaching, is gonna try and yeet Kenny.
Good luck.
Oh yeah.
The Muff God has come.
This.
First of all, it's going to fire its twin-linked particle beams at you. Because it does have a gun, in fact.
See, Kenny might not be a very powerful god by the standard of most gods, since he is just a god of moths. But he is still a god. Madhoots.
Yes.
However, the Canotep spider misses somehow at that range.
Your lamp does not shine brightly.
The spider is startled.
I'm in danger.
Oh yeah, Bill, you should have one of those Necron spiders fight Nuka at some point. Just to fuck with him.
Oh, one better than that.
Ron. Come to
Right.
Ron.
Ron just kind of raises his head slowly, smirks, and says, "Then all you got."
Yeah, boy.
And right, I'm gonna ask you something, Stu.
Okay.
Could I combine Whirlwind of Death with a grapple? Essentially, what I want to do is grab one of the Necrons and use them as a club.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that effective, to be honest, because you'd basically be doing like improvised damage. So still, you've got good strength, so it might be.
If you grab one of the scarabs, they're basically just a big metal brick.
This.
Which
Also,
is
it's
very
very amusing. Right, so
I'll tell you what you
does
can
that
do.
work?
If
Yep.
you want to make the penalty harder but improve the damage, you can grab the Canotep spider. Because
Yes.
that's more fun.
Yes. Rule of cool.
So make a
So
standard
go-
attack on the Canotep spider first, and then we'll roll damage on the things if you succeed.
So the difference between beating someone to death with a PSP and beating someone to death with a small car.
Yeah. Because grabbing a handful of scarabs doesn't really make sense. I think the spider works better.
Let me just.
So yeah, just make your standard attack on the scarab. Roll your modifiers.
The cosplay version of this would be a man wearing a wheelie bin, swinging around what appears to be a tablecloth filled with isopods.
Okay, let's see how the spider reacts to this. Okay, could you make a strength test at minus 20? Due to the heft of this boy. Well,
Get over
you
here.
grab the boy. And could you please make me a... Let's have a look. Do you have an unarmed warrior or unarmed master?
I have unarmed warrior.
Okay. Could you make me... Basically, you look at the weakened spider and you just plunge your hands into its horrible canopy, and with a great yeet of strength assisted by the servos in your armor, you manage to hold it aloft.
Did you
Somehow.
say great yeet of strength?
Yes. Epic. Could you make me a standard roll for this swarm and this swarm? So we'll do 2 and then we'll do 2 for the wraiths. Basically just use your weapon skill.
Yeah.
For a standard attack.
Time to get some.
Wow.
So first, and then do the same roll again.
Jesus.
Okay, now roll me a D10 plus your strength bonus, including all your armor and stuff.
Yeet.
So I think that should just be a strength check, actually, if you're... Okay, the first swarm suffers, basically you start to swing the spider around, crushing a few of the scarabs underneath its bulk. And now do the same roll for the second swarm. Oof. The second swarm almost gets completely decimated as your swing picks up momentum. As more and more of the beasts are crushed, it's almost completely scattered to the winds now. Now, here's the unfortunate thing. Could you roll another one? Another roll to hit on Kenny the Warp Moth, because he's in range.
Kenny will remember this.
He might. I hope not.
He probably has a good amount of hit points. And it's difficult to hit.
Although, moths don't remember much.
Roll the damage
I hope you're right.
on Kenny.
Doesn't Kenny get a dodge?
He does. So, Kenny, would you like to dodge?
Can our boys in blue
will.
get a dodge?
I'm guessing that's a straight roll, or...
Make an agility roll for whatever dodge modifier he has. I think he just has a straight
Oh, yeah.
dodge.
Yep.
But he's flying, don't forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he can use his flying stuff.
Oh no!
Well, that's basically a base dodge,
Okay, let me.
without the flying taken into account.
The flying doesn't really give you too much of a bonus to dodge, but I'll consider it on the damage.
The flying allows you to use the flying, the number he has in the flying in place of his agility. If it's higher. So like if he has an 8 in flying, for example, he would treat his agility as 80.
That's only for the movement.
Kenny will remember this.
True, I
Honestly, he's
guess.
been getting the rough end of it.
So. Is the bot
Can you use
just...
another
No, the
speed?
bot's still there. Hold on. Let's have a look. Eat.
Also, does the large scarab itself also get the damage for being
Oh
yeeted
yeah,
into it?
I'll
Good.
include that at the end. So Kenny doesn't actually take that much damage from the from Ron swinging. It just kind of gets cuffed a bit along its arm. But
Sorry, Kenny.
Kenny just kind of takes it.
okay, roll to hit the first wraith. Okay. The wraith manages to dodge away of the swing. Now roll to hit the second wraith. Oh no, wait! It's used its dodge this round. Roll your damage.
Oh, how quickly the tide turns. Basically, whenever Ron is genuinely threatened, he becomes really edgy and just basically turns into Duke.
I came here to kick ass and chew bubblegum.
And I'm all out of gum.
I kick ass for the Lord.
I came here to eat ass.
And I see a lot of ass.
That is so cursed. Jesus. It's 10.
Oh god, why?
Come here, boy.
And then just Tombstalker then.
Yep, just roll the damage for... roll to hit and then roll the damage. Let's see how this goes. Yep, roll the damage, it's still hitting it.
Ritualist got some art.
Yes.
lamp throw.
Yes.
That's magnificent.
Yes.
Alright.
Grant me your lamp.
Oh, let me put that in. Hold on.
Oh, that's fucking magnificent.
So yeah, with a
Wait.
final swing, you managed to
Yeah.
fucking
Oh yeah, Stu, since I'm holding the scarab, and I'm
Yeah.
basically grappling it, does it count as being
count as being what?
helpless? Since it's
No.
basically just being swung like a baseball bat.
No, and it's
Right.
not going to do much for it anyway. It's going to die after this turn. Let me just get a ritual start. Copy.
Could we just say I end my turn by holding it above my head so that Voss can hit it?
Yeah, if you really want to do that. If you want to just bench lift a thing. Make another strength test at -20.
Could I use athletics for this?
Yeah, if you really want, sure. Give me a moment. Ritual start. Yeah, you succeed and hold and bench pressed it above you like a WWE superstar.
Ready to rumble.
Let me just add ritual start for the stream. Fucking war offs. There you go, the stream should be able to see that. Alrighty, okay. Fast, do you want to shoot the big spider?
I do indeed.
Just move you.
Aim and loose.
Just move it there for you to see. You get
Ouchie.
+20 for its size. And another +10 for the fact that it's like being held aloft for you.
Okay, so
Oof. Well,
and don't forget felling 2.
yep. That's enough. The final twang of his Voss Ballard's bow. The spider's central processing unit dies out. Whoa! And it comes clattering to the floor just there as Voss and Ron presumably lets go of it and throws it off to the side. Actually, you know what? I'll say he throws it off there because that's more convenient.
He just does a round throw as he just smashes it into things. And Voss shoots it as it goes through the air.
Pull.
Proper fucking.
Oh!
I love how this keeps turning into us shooting clay pigeons, or mainly
Yep.
Voss.
Okay. So let me think. Let me think. I will spend my turn. Johanna will attempt to spend her turn doing something she's not actually sure will work, but she will try to just maintain Kenny's form through a psychic focus test.
Okay. You can have a +20 to the roll. Because your incantations, and he has a stable presence thanks to Ziv and the Plague Bearer within his staff. Yeah? Kenny's form has been solidified. You draw upon the energies of the warp, and you manage to, you think you may have solidified his presence in the material realm for a while longer.
Yeet.
Yeah,
You can just-
And you hear a chuckling in your head of, yes, feed me more.
And Johanna, as her eyes kind of crackle, as she just stares intently at Kenny, will just say, "Well, I didn't think I'd actually be helping you anytime soon."
Labiol?
Yep.
Zev.
Okay. Time to try to help him out.
Yeet.
Civ is going to just double checking. Yeah, that's a half move. And it's gonna try to hit the wraith.
Yeet. Make a charge. +10 for its size.
Nice.
May I have a praise Kenny in the chat?
Oof.
May I have a crumb of pussy?
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no.
That's not.
That is
not-
unfortunate, Zev.
Oh shit! I didn't even notice.
Wait,
Oh,
don't forget, gang up.
Oh yeah, gang.
Oh, yeah.
is it a +10 or a +20?
That's +20 because Ron's there as well. There you go.
Yeah.
Dab, son.
It was a hit.
Nice.
Roll your damage.
Yeet.
Let me just see if the boy does anything.
I'm one lucky boy today.
Nope.
Did he?
That's enough. With a defying yeet as you run in with your scythe of Nurgle, you manage to cleave the wraith in two, and then spew a bile of acid in its central processing unit,
Yes.
bringing it to a final death.
2 out of 7.
So you have
Have
2
I-
kills.
Have I earned the title of Sorcerer yet?
Oh fuck yeah, you have.
You made a god. I feel like that qualifies you for a lot of things.
Yeah.
I feel like if this continues to go well, we might be getting a bit more infamy after this, boys.
You should get a fuck ton of infamy for this. Holy shit.
Ursula. Remove 1 of your tokens, make me a +20 willpower check.
Let me see, what was the fucking ritual caster talents again?
What the fuck?
What? Ah,
Ursula is still very, very scared, considering, weirdly
It's
enough,
been dead
because
for 2
two
turns.
wraiths have just died, like another one just died.
Just standing there screaming at the corpse as it pulls out.
No!
you know, I think it may not be so much the corpse anymore. I think it may be more the massive monstrosity that suddenly appeared.
Yeah.
It's been a spooky day, to be fair.
I will say, you guys can make fellowship-related things to snap her out of it to help her, but...
It really feels less like it's a horror thing and more, she's just sick of all that shit thing.
Yes!
Just her going on a massive tirade. Like, fuck
Oh,
all
of
you.
course, the moth's a god now. Right, okay.
Why can't you just be normal?
I pull my power axe 1 time and immediately I'm just screaming for 18 seconds.
Just fucking. We're going to find some crystals, and now there's fucking robots, and now, of course, there's a fucking god here now. Okay, fine.
Fucking moth god.
Ah, there's a moth god. I guess I'll just go fuck myself then.
Okay, the final
Point has
boy
finished.
is going to phase out of reality.
Oh.
Disappear!
Don't you run away from me!
Come back.
Okay, this swarm is not quite dead. They're gonna peck at Ron some more because they're simple beasts.
Face me, coward.
You're not supposed to sound like that.
Oh, I can do this quite a lot.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying your
Next
character.
time, Gadget. Next time.
Ron, do you want to parry or use your shield or whatever?
I'll use the shield thing.
Okay, don't waste your parry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Demon voices are pretty easy.
Yep, the swarm swarms you, but they don't quite get through your power field. They peck aimlessly. Nala.
Okay, so are there any enemies in this?
Yeah,
mess?
there's 2 swarms left. Actually, 3.
Yeah.
One's almost dead, actually, in the front of you.
Is Warpy Boy here flying?
Yeah, so you can
Override.
go past them or shoot past them or whatever.
Okay. Well, can I go under him?
Yeah, it's no bother.
And can I walk on this one's corpse?
Yeah, it's no bother.
Okay. I think I'm in range for this one in melee then now.
Yeah, you are, so...
So I'm gonna yeet this swarm with my mace.
Make some Molag Ball.
Can I take a step back and then go forward?
Yes! Silly as that is, yes, you can do it. I love how, because this map is so tight, it's just like, I'm gonna do a run up, right, guys, before I charge it.
Any additional modifier from any of the shit on my mace or anything?
Plus 10 for hatred. I'll give you plus 20 for the gang up as well.
So 30?
Gang.
Ancient Masters of Combat. Don't have Combat Master.
Was that a success?
Yes, and I'm not even gonna ask you to roll damage, you yeet the final scarves away.
I'm going to anyway.
Yeah, because dude, even if you'd rolled a 1, it's like, oof, you would've killed them all. Good job,
Just
Norris.
wildly swinging my hammer around at a bunch of insects.
Yes!
He pulls off the boot of his power armor and starts swinging it wildly into the floor, smashing them individually.
I just pull out a can of, like, fucking
cold
bug
one.
spray.
Pull out cold ones, so sweet.
The boys.
No, do you know what you do? You you quickly down a can of cold one and then just swing the remaining empty can.
Monster energy.
I'm just
Energy spontaneously appears in my hand.
That's what cold one is. It's an energy drink. It's just a big can, basically Monster Energy, with a big picture of a riding lizard on the front.
Yep.
Jane. I think Jane's Overwatch is like not applicable anymore.
I mean, she should have probably gotten it when it tried to phase out of reality.
No, that was a different one though that died.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose I'm not gonna do anything this turn either then.
The Skog's still here. Oh,
Yep,
Skog's
right.
be right back. Oh.
What have I missed? Sorry.
It's Jane's turn. There's not too
I
much. she
thought
can
everything was dead. And yeah, I still can't do anything.
do. Oof.
I guess I can go and try and motivate.
Motivate. Ursula, yeah, I guess.
Get motivated.
Make a command check to try and help
Iris.
her snap out of it.
I was thinking fellowship, but yeah, command.
You can do
is
fellowship
based
if you
off.
want. But
I will do fellowship because then I don't get a negative.
yep, that's fine.
And I
You
still
still
fail.
fail. No,
Oh,
this is so
Wanna
sad.
use fake point?
It's probably not worth it. This playing the combat soul stuff.
I mean,
Fine.
yeah.
This is normal. This is not normal. There's no way.
And you're saying you're fine, and you're not fine.
You not really fine, but you can't tell anybody because they just wouldn't
Isn't that a
understand.
meme? Because I've heard Hypothetical History use it a couple times.
Yes, yes, it
It's
is.
a meme.
Yep.
It is, if I remember, it was that fucking weight loss program.
I just remember it because
I thought it was a Me Too thing.
I just
Was it?
Was it?
I'll look it up.
yeah.
Just some chunky feminist ranting.
I just remember
Also-
vividly because Potential History used it in a video and talked about, I think, Germany or the Eastern Front, and he was like, so yeah, then Palace surrendered, and it's just a picture of Palace kind of awkwardly walking into this room surrounded by all these Soviet officers, like, about to ask him a load of questions. He just looks so sad, like, at the lowest moment of his life. And that voice is just playing, you know, you think
Oh,
you're
it was
fine,
a
but
Katy
you're...
Perry interview.
But you think you're fine, but you're not really fine.
Oh, really? Wow.
Wow.
Well,
Of course, we all know that from the fucking seal getting yeeted into fucking space by an orc.
Oofed.
true.
Valenia's just gonna waltz over and fire a gamma pistol because what else can I do?
You know, you walk out the door, you see someone that you know, and they ask how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Oof.
How sad.
It's a quote from Katy Perry in an interview on an Australian news show called The Project in 2014,
The projects, boy.
Right.
according to Know Your Meme.
Ah, yes.
I want to... Oh, she's talking about being depressed. Oh,
Oh, I
that
thought it
poor
was about
billionaire. Oh,
being like
she's so
a
depressed.
celebrity.
To be honest, if I had married Russell Brand, I'd be pretty depressed too. So how am I going to spend the rest of my life? Oh, a heroin addict who looks like fucking Skeletor.
Bill,
This is great.
Bill, she is a famous woman. If she divorced him, she would get all of his money and not have to look at him ever
Yeah,
again.
all of his nothing. Russell
Yeah,
Brand.
but that's
Spent it
exactly
all
what
on
I'm saying,
heroin.
though. That's exactly what I'm saying, though. She could, if she just said he abused me, people would be like, Katy Perry wouldn't lie, and then she would get a restraining order and never have to look at his ass again.
No,
Alright.
Svitaya telling you how to be a successful celebrity whore.
Dude, like, am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. It's blatantly obvious as well, which is a sad thing. Anyway, Ron, basically...
Women, am I right, fellas?
Could you make me, Ron, two standard attacks, like disengaging strikes?
Don't you run away from me!
As the Scarab Swarm dissipates.
Right.
Oh no!
Yep.
Do I count as outnumbering them? Or ganging up?
No.
Right.
Make it -20 as well, just because their size, because they're minuscule now and they're running away. Just 'cause- Oof! Oof! Well, one of them's a pretty good hit.
Right.
Then the second one. Okay.
From
Alright, so the first swarm, basically, you swing for this swarm over here as they scuttle away into the darkness, yeeting many of them with your blade, but they just about manage to get away with what few remain. And then you try and hit the swarm to the north on a rebound, but just graze them as they scuttle away. You swing a bit too high. However, for all intents and purposes, the combat is over.
Well, shit.
We did it! Hooray!
Well, I knew that it was either going to go very bad from here, or it was going to go fairly decently. Now let's find the crystal and get out.
Can I do
Let's
a
get this
command
bread.
roll? Can I do a command roll and try and yell at Ursula to stop being a pussy?
Get up! Yeah, make a command roll at +20.
See, the funny thing is, guys, she's a cat, so she can't stop being a pussy.
Oh, got it.
Success.
Success. Ursula, you no longer feel scared now. The big space marine has yelled you to stop being a pussy, even though you are. But the logic just amuses you.
Cool. Sorry, I was dremeling something. I didn't think you'd want to hear that.
While you guys decide what you want to do next, I'll be right back for a boomer break. So, meme for a moment.
Holy shit. Whoa. Oh no.
Sorry, I'm back.
Well, it seems that there's a. Well, I guess we're stuck here with the moth god for a moment.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Your command worked, yeah. No, that's
Okay.
Ron
Sorry.
just awkwardly turns the corner and then just changes back to normal, quote unquote normal, and just comes.
I mean, we've seen you do it before, so
He doesn't like being watched, you know. When he's
Oh, guys, what happened?
I was out taking a piss.
Hold on, wait, hold on. Let me just.
I am.
Oh, Ron, where were you, man?
This
Yeah,
place is a
sorry,
shithole.
I was taking the bathroom break. My bad.
Does this place have a bath? A bathroom?
I think I summoned the
Yes.
That's pretty.
Yes, you did.
I was wondering why my eyes were bleeding.
I was wondering what my eyes. Oh no. Where did Stu say he was going?
For a boomer break.
Yeah. But I gotta admit, like, it's making me really nervous thinking of, okay, we got Moth God. What's gonna be the downside now?
Rituals. Okay,
All your
rituals
lamp are belong to
always
him.
Rituals always have a downside, and it's going to affect Kenny for the rest of his existence.
Just gonna turn into a calm berserker or something.
Suddenly Kenny isn't just a warp moth, it's a person.
Oh no.
You cursed me!
They just start screaming about how he wants the heretic burger.
Give me heretic burger.
I hunger.
Don't forget about my free TV.
Sandpaper cigarettes?
What?
Sandpaper cigarettes?
And paper cigarettes. You sound like you're burping.
I need burger.
This is the most cancerous we've ever been.
Just say that once a week.
You say that like we don't turn to this cancer most of the time.
Bless you. Oh, okay. See that. Johanna will, Nah, if any of you have the idea of asking Johanna what the fuck's going on, just know that she looks about as confused as the rest of you, if not more.
I'll let you know once I start bleeding from the eyes.
Pretend it isn't there and it'll go away.
Nah,
Pretend it
Billy,
isn't
you
there
are-
and it'll go away.
Billy, you aren't bleeding from the eyes, only statues are. 45 is only statues are bleeding from the eyes.
Mining away.
My
Oh,
face
yeah.
has been frozen in this fucking scowl for so long, I'm pretty sure I count.
Ron shall walk up to Kenny, look him up and down, just kind of go, "That's crazy, man. You ever tried DMT?"
Kenny took
No,
the
no.
DMT.
Gorn took the DMT.
Kenny took the DMT.
Nurgle
Nurgle
took
took
the
the
DMT. Zeech took the DMT. The Emperor took the DMT.
Horus took the DMT.
Horus heresy will commence again!
Damn, that's crazy.
Everybody innately knows this. These people are not human.
These people
What the
are
English said.
demons.
I mean,
Ispan 5 will commence
I'm
again.
telling you, Malkador the Sigillite is a goddamn demon.
see, if you just apply everything that Alex Jones says to the 40k universe, it makes perfect sense.
Archaeon was a Christ sector hired by Marienburg.
Okay, so
I love that
See,
meme.
Alex Jones would fit in perfectly with the 4K universe. Shortly before he gets gooked by the Inquisition. Meanwhile, in regular Warhammer, he is hilarious.
I think he'd make a good Inquisitor, though.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
trying to picture it.
Jones.
No, he would just be Kaldor Drago, to be honest.
he'd be like that
Drago.
he'd be like that weirdo radical that the other Inquisitors don't really like, but he's actually often right on stuff.
Are you perhaps talking about Obi-Wan Sherlock Clouseau?
He's basically just an Inquisitor who is convinced he's breaking open all these Chaos Pacts, and really all he's doing is investigating the Inquisition.
It's
I'm telling you, they're controlling everything. They're using these weird symbols. Symbols is not natural.
He's standing directly into the middle of the Inquisitorial headquarters.
Wow, this cult seems really dangerous. Do you have any idea what they're called?
Nah, yes, you won't even believe this.
Look
They
at
call
this chaos compass thing.
Now look at this symbol, and look how they stole from us. And he just this is a cult symbol, and look how they stole from us.
And he just shows a fucking symbol. He just shows the Inquisition symbol.
Alex Jones is just Inquisitor. They didn't brief on anything as a joke.
He just fucking comes in guns blazing with a bolter. And then one of the serfs just informs him, "Sir, these are Inquisitorial head blocks." We just start screaming, "I'm a pioneer!"
Let go of me, racist!
She's gone!
Oof.
Oh no, they gooked it again.
no, that was me.
Wow. Okay, so Stu,
Yeah,
I suppose we should continue
yeah,
before Kenny disappears.
yes. Don't worry, I've tracked Kenny's time. It's fine. He's still regarding you really happily. He's like, show me more. And he kind of just, casually hovers over the floor.
My character will cautiously follow behind.
Yeah. So will Sim.
So yeah, you come to the Grand Amphi chamber, where you saw the Scarab and his boys hanging out. Once again, you just see a console by the table over there, another table, and more of the statues which resemble the visages you saw earlier.
Are they still crying blood?
They are, yes.
Clang.
However, it seems to have dried up somewhat, but you still see some faint blood tears emanating from them. Kenny notices you looking at the statues and kind of just gives you a big old grin from its horrible maw. Like, just opens its maw and it kind of smiles.
Oh, Jesus. Hmm?
Do you, you're Kenny? Do you know what those statues are?
Ah, the statues. Yes, an old race called the Necrontia. I remember them. Interesting fellas.
Necronty?
Yes. Some of them are called Necrons. Now I believe that's the term.
So those are what the robots used to look like?
Yes. Well done. You're very astute. They're an old race. Older than the Eldari, in fact.
The pointiest one?
Yes. The
Pardon me,
pointy
but
ones.
sorry, I interrupted you. Go on.
Oh, not at all, young Ziv. I'm just thinking about the old days.
What in the world? What were you doing?
Hey, can I get some help with this door?
How the heck does a moth know all this?
I'm not merely a moth, young Ziv. I am.
Your father.
I am Kenugulam, god of all moths. I've resided in your Immaterium for many years, uncountable years. He's just kind of flying around as he says this, like whenever one of you speaks, he just kind of seems to appear next to you to offer his knowledge.
Johanna seems to be sticking close behind Voss.
Upon being greeted with the concept that there are even older, more bullshit creatures to kill, Voss's face is just, that picture of the Feels guy who has been like withered to a humanoid void.
Nicholas.
Clang.
Bang.
As you approach the
Clang.
door, as those guys have been talking, Kane and Moth shortly joins behind you as this approach. What do you do with the door?
Clang. Clang. Actually, I'll just try and open it first. That's probably a good idea.
If I could interject before you try that, could someone assist me in healing?
I would if I could.
I'll have to try.
Do you want me to roll as a bonus to healing, or do you want me to just roll healing and then have it as a sort of aggregate?
I can assist or I can roll, entirely up to you.
I should get a.
Well, it's up to Stu, really.
Yeah, sorry.
You can assist. Basically, one of you can make a roll, and the other can assist on it, depending how you feel.
I think I've got the higher Medicaid.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I'll assist.
Cool.
Because I got trained.
Alright. That looks promising.
And
Yeah.
how about Civ?
Who is actually injured, by the way, out of the group?
I do believe that's Ursula.
Me.
Or Jay?
Ursula and Ron. are
Ursula's
injured
the one who's
currently.
heavily done.
Oh,
I
and Ziv
haven't
is also injured.
Yeah. Ziv is quite badly injured.
Ziv, yeah, I'll say that's the roll on yourself.
I'm just trying to play the card of let's heal the cleric first and then work backwards.
Yeah.
Well, now I had 13, because I do remember we healed that up last time.
So, Ursula, what is your int bonus?
My intelligence bonus is 5.
Do you have Master Surgeon?
Yep.
I'm gonna say with that many successes, you heal yourself for 8 wounds.
Wow.
That's almost all of them.
Yep.
Epic.
Ziv, what's your int bonus?
My in bonus?
Yep. Your intelligence bonus.
Your int bonus.
Yeah, intelligence bonus. Okay, that's 3.
So, Ziv, you managed to successfully heal yourself for 5 wounds. Not merely because of your own skill with Medicae, but the Moth God and the staff seem to strengthen your constitution, so to speak. You just feel yourself invigorated by the presence of Nurgle's disciples.
Yes, please make an N roll to true name the niggers.
Don't banish
Your
him back to the
arm
wall.
doesn't seem to hurt anymore, so the lack of it anyway. The stump seems to have scabbed over quite nicely.
Oh, okay, nice.
It was causing you a bit of pain before, but it's kind of smoothed itself over. The Mothman chuckles a bit upon your noticing you looking at it.
Mothman, can't you see?
Chuckles quite knowingly. Does anyone want to try and heal Ron?
Yep, I can do that.
Lovely.
Grand.
Adds an additional plus 10. Oof.
I had not had the 10.
Have you not?
So sad.
That is a success, though, actually, with the additional plus 10. So,
I count as lightly wounded.
you do indeed, because you're black blood. Okay. What's your bonus? 5, 6, 7. Ron, you managed to successfully, thanks to Ursula's expert care in the field of medicine, 8 wounds. It's healed back. She patches up the gouts in your leg, especially. So that's everyone had a heal check, I think. Is anyone else hurt?
Test. Is everyone really quiet?
How much do I heal?
8
No,
wounds.
the server's connection just went down.
Oh, is that what happened there? Right. So, yeah, Han, you
see.
heal 8 wounds thanks to Ursula's expert medical care.
I'm changing the
molecular.
server to Western Europe, so it might stop lagging.
Okay.
The results
All right.
might surprise you.
So,
Alright, Stu, I attempt to open the door like how you would normally open a door.
okay, Nullus. As you place your hand upon the door, you hear a rumbling sound. And the door slides open for you.
Concern.
I better not have been able to do that from the start.
That'd be hilarious.
Fucking... Let's fucking go.
Moving
No,
north
it's just
20
completely
feet.
done with it.
I think Johanna is going to follow up after.
Wait for me.
Oh. Oh, we're not done
Top
at
right?
all.
Oh no.
Top middle.
Top middle.
This is but the start.
Are these torches?
As you walk through the great doorway you just opened magically for you, seemingly on its own, you're greeted by braziers, or braziers as Rags likes to say.
Big old titty covers.
Burn with a nice, healthy glow flame.
Yeet.
As you will presumably have a look around and then proceed forward, you peer into the corridor and see more of a great archway.
That's sarcophaguses.
Isn't it sarcophagi?
More like sarcophagi.
Oh, got him.
Sarcophagi.
Come on, Ziff, we've already
Can
had
I-
one massacre.
Is this openable? Like the sarcophagi?
Give me a moment.
Sarcophagi?
Make an awareness check at +10.
Plus what?
plus 10, which is including your census bonus.
I'll also do this.
Nolus, you see a sarcophagi propped up against the chamber of this, the wall of this hallway, or walkway.
Okay.
It's quite well carved, and made of a very... As you touch it, it just feels very heavy, like it's made of a very strong substance, almost. You don't know without testing, of course, but you feel like this is a pretty sturdily built item.
Is it like a normal sarcophagus where you can like lift the top off of it, kind of deal?
No, weirdly enough. It almost seems completely sealed. As though there's no way to open it once it was sealed.
Ron, do you want to use your auspex to see if you can see anything in there?
Already did. I got 1 degree of success.
Ron, you tune your auspex up and have a close look at the sarcophagi. You don't really detect any life signs or anything interesting as such, and no strong chemical substances either. It's almost as if it's just a simple sarcophagi.
Somehow I doubt
It's
this.
sarcophagus when it's singular.
Whatever.
Yeah, sorry.
Not just sarcophagi, but sarcophagus women, sarcophagus children too.
Sarcophagi, sarcophagus.
Sarcophagi.
Sarcophagy.
Do you wish to proceed?
Sarcophagus.
I mean, considering what we've already encountered in terms of ambushes, which the Necron so far seem to be quite fond of, we may want to try and open these to see what's inside.
Feel free.
Right, I'm gonna try and do that.
If we do get the lid off one, let's just shove the lid in the doorway so it can't shut on us.
Also, could we get some revealing done since I'm like...
Yeah, yeet.
I'm blind.
Concern.
Oh, there's more of them.
Yep, there are more sarcophaguses' eyes ahead of you.
Body boxes.
There are more boxes ahead of you. All very similar to the last.
I swing at this one,
Toaster cozies.
trying to open it.
Controls.
Does it count as helpless, since it's an inanimate?
Yeah, don't worry, I'm taking that into account. Ron, interestingly enough, you bring your great chain blade down upon the box, and it just kind of clatters off it. You weren't expecting this. And there's a bit of feedback in your gauntlet. So you just hit as though the unstoppable force hit the immovable object. But the immovable object won.
This piques Nulla's interest. Ron, does your chainsword have a power field on it?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, I'm gonna try to eat it with the mace.
Alright. Swing the mace.
While they're doing that, can I make a cognitions test
Yes.
on the sarcophagus? Do I get a bonus?
Yeah, plus 10 bonus for the presence of Kenny. And whatever other modifiers you wish. Alrighty. Once again, Nolus, despite you critting, much like Ron, your mace, you swing your mace down, and with a great clang, your mace just kind of falls back, seemingly causing no damage to the sarcophagi. Or sarcophagus. Or sarcophagi. So yeah, that happens.
Yeah, that happened.
Okay, actually, you're multiple. So, fucking. Let me see now. I'm actually gonna search this up because it's annoying me now.
I think it's sarcophagus for the singular, and then
Sarcophagus singular, sarcophagus. It's
for
sarcophagi
the,
or
for the plural. Yeah.
Isn't
yeah.
it like
Plural,
sarcophaga, like with the C in there
Sarcophagus.
somewhere?
it's from the root word sarcophagus, meaning to eat bodies.
It is sarcophagus. It is sarcophagus for the singular. Sarcophagi for the multiple. And
Because
shut the
it
fuck
can
up.
be sarcophagy, which is the plural of eat corpse. This is to eat many corpses.
Oof.
to eat flesh.
So,
Okay.
Johanna, you
I'll do
peer
that.
into the to find any strange signatures with the sarcophagus. You don't seem to find anything interesting that really sticks out to you, but you do sense the presence of a dim soul within it. Very, very faint, but it's there.
Is there a knowledge wild stab in the dark?
No.
Is there
The bardic knowledge.
You can use logic. That'd be the most thing.
Facts and logic.
If we can't open him, there's not much.
Can
point
I
to-
do an intelligence check instead?
Yeah?
Thank you. Do I get a bonus for doing what I just did?
No, it's just straight intelligence.
No.
You're very
I'll give that-
confused. Why would
I'll
a
give
soul
that a
be in a
whirl.
sarcophagus? They're for dead people, right?
Oof. Do you relay this to the party or not?
Johanna will say that she can.
Voss is like, what are these big gay metal boxes?
Like
Metal boxes.
my character will just. Oh wow.
Oh wow, really?
We'll just relay that.
Seems to be, like, not really life, but like the thing behind life. So there you go. That's the word.
They don't think it be like it is, but it do.
I think I might remember this from the Orpheus sector.
So Ron,
The
you
good old
recount
days.
back to your old days of glory, hunting down Xenos and delving into dark places. And you think that you may have seen some weird Xenos races that kept these sarcophagi thingies and stored dead things in them, maybe. But you're not 100% sure. But they make you feel a bit uneasy.
You think back to the 3rd edition core rulebook for 40k and think, oh yeah, I remember these right next to the big squid-looking thing. In the lineup of weird Xenos without army books.
For some reason, Ron just has a flashback being stuck in in the void of space alone for 100
Not
years.
flashback.
Was it in the wind?
Sorry, I'm back.
I remember when I stared the void into its eyes. It's into the eye. There was many glistening maws staring back at me.
They called me names.
Oh.
This is so sad.
Imagine just being bullied by demons.
One of them called me poo poo brain.
You wake up the next morning, they just run dicks on the outside of the ship. So no.
Demons!
Why do demons of Zinj keep stealing my lunch money?
That would be Cord. Demons of Siege. Demons of Siege.
What is
would
lunch,
just
really?
Okay, so listen up. Cord would steal your lunch money. The demons of Siege would call you a giant nerd as they go back to playing chess.
And don't forget, they also steal your D&D dice.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
The keepers of secrets accuse you of rape. Dab dab.
And the demons of Shalnesh just fucking awkwardly try to hit on you. Because they were dared to.
Because they're thoughts.
Ouchie. My spirit.
Demons of Nurgle just cough in your face, and then they walk away.
And I just spit. They just fucking no. I'll tell you what they fucking do. They ring on your doorbell and then they run away. Because all Nurgle worshippers are children.
That's way too active to be Nurgle. They just ring your doorbell, then stand there awkwardly.
Stand
Yeah.
there awkwardly, cough in your face.
They're just a guy in class who just always coughs and never goes home. Just always there.
Bill,
Being a
are you
nuisance.
staying back there on purpose, Bill?
Oh, hang on, I'll just reload it quickly. Hang on. I should have fixed it.
so You all proceed further into the chamber, seeing more boxes. Eventually, though, you reach a further level of the chamber as it just opens up into this massive room chamber thing, greeting you with other boxes.
More box. Wait a fucking second.
Perfect place for an ambush.
Are those glowing? So do we see that those are glowing? I will run an awareness check to see if those are glowing.
Can I roll a submissions test to check if they're glowing?
I'm gonna roll awareness.
I'm also gonna
see
roll
if
awareness.
Anything has changed with regards to the sarcophagus.
Do we get a bonus to awareness?
Besides your Space Marine bonuses or specs, whatever else you're carrying, no, it's a neutral test.
Oof.
Can I roll a submissions test regarding the boxes that seem to be glowing?
Yes.
Okay.
Johanna is staring at Kenny.
I'm gonna roll submissions for the fun of it.
You can't.
Oh. Oh, I
You
see.
need to be a
My
psychic.
target skill. I see. Right. Thought it was just -20.
Or if you have Eyes of Chaos, you can do it.
Right.
Dude, did you take away my forbidden lore, the market?
I don't think I did, no.
Well, where'd it go?
You just fill it in again, it's fine. So, let's see. Onulla, Sinusine
Speaking of
awareness.
forbidden lore.
Alright. Ligma.
I had to.
The mark. Okay, first of all, Nullus, you look at the glowing metal boxes arranged before you that seem to glow with strange green symbols on them, and you think, damn, son, these are worth a lot. to the rad buyer.
I'll attempt a submission test as well.
I'm just gonna roll a regular.
I'm gonna
Roll
come
stuff.
on
Oof. Oh.
1 degree of success. Which means
Hey.
that is 2 degrees of success. As that is still a perception.
Okay, who's got access to my character sheet?
Let's have a look.
Oh no, that's an awareness, so that's just...
Somebody put gay in forbidden lore, and I feel very offended.
Oh, Gren did. There you go.
Fred, I can't believe you've done
I was wondering when you were gonna figure out.
Oh!
I've had access to your character sheets for the last 5 sessions.
Yeah, because I'm a boomer and forgot to change it back. So, Voss, Johanna, and I believe Ron as well, and someone else. Okay, you all, after relaying and conferring your notes about what these things are, Johanna, you sense that these particular boxes don't have the soul signature in them before. So you conclude that they're probably not like the other boxes in the chamber beforehand. But Ron, using a scanner, concludes there are some odd chemical and mineral composites within the boxes.
Oh, if it helps, Stu, I have soul sight.
Oh yeah.
Anything that has a soul in it glows like a Christmas tree.
Okay, yes, so I should have mentioned that, Bill. So I forgot you had that. The boxes you all saw, Bill, beforehand seem to have a faint red glow within them that you could almost see infrared past the boxes. Almost in the shape of a diamond. Choose to do with that information as you wish.
Not sure I'm liking how these things are glowing.
You should probably have a few people just look at the glowing boxes, and the rest of us train.
The
our
glowing
weapons on these
boxes do not seem to have a glowing red soul, so to speak, from your vision, though, Bill.
The glowing ones ain't the ones that are glowing. Not red, anyway.
The glowing ones ain't the ones that are glowing. We'll
Hold
deal
on.
with the boxes later. Let's complete our objectives first.
Let me just get this working. Just trying to see if I can get this bot to repeat everything. There we go. That's it. So, are you guys doing anything particular, or would you like to proceed further in?
Proceed.
Okay. Please give me a final formation to arrange yourselves all in.
Okay.
Ron, you might want to be up here with me.
Right.
You're the melee.
Yeah, but now it looked like you had 2 bodyguards. Okay.
You all ready?
Yeah.
So, you all proceed further into the chamber. You come upon the glowing boxes. And
That'll show me who's boss.
as you come to pass your eyes adjust more to the darkness, and you see before you what seems to be the end of the chamber, revealing
Oh, fuck.
Hindsight, probably should have turned these prey sense goggles on sooner.
Yeah, I have dark sight, so I should have been able to see that.
well, for the magic of
Wow.
theatrics, you just managed to come in sight of them now.
Well, we're here.
I'm
We're
just
here now anyway.
I'm just picturing like a big fucking curtain unfurls. All singing, all dancing, scum of the fucking world.
Spooky, scary skeletons just starts playing.
Is this the Hank King's play?
Well, Bill, as your vision comes into focus from your goggles and whatever other devices you have, your supernatural vision reveals that a few figures that seem to have a glowing red diamond within their chest cavity.
Stu, did they notice us?
At the moment, before you, you see at the end of this chamber a few more sarcophagi, some crystals lying across the floor, and on work tables. But what really catches your eye are the skeletal figures standing motionless.
I understand now why we didn't see them before now, because we thought they were more statues.
Oh, this is the music from ODST, isn't it?
It's called the Tomb of Ramesses, this music. I can't remember where it's from. It does say on the song on YouTube.
So, Stu.
Stu, one small request, please. The right-hand table, the brown one, please flip it round. It just should be forming a full circle, and it's really making me spurg out.
Oof, there we go.
Thank you.
Yeah, that does look really autistic. Wait till you get to the cores you have back in the Iron Keep. Like, they're not symmetrical at all. I just drawn them haphazardly. It's like, yeah, it'll do.
I didn't want to say earlier that the door is off center.
Like, I literally don't give a shit about the thing. It's just an abstract. I don't have time for cemetery faggots.
Stu, when you say that they're standing still, do you mean like they're not animate, or do you mean they're animate but they're not moving?
They're animate, but they're not moving.
Okay, that's a little worrying.
What really catches your eye out of all the figures, besides the heavy gunner-looking fellows at the back, are these three boys with carrying these heavy shields and blades. And before them is a figure wearing a cloak. Just behind them, sitting next to this black sarcophagus, carrying what looks like a scythe, of all things.
Oh dear.
Oh boy.
Is,
And
is
Don't
that
try and drink the sarcophagus.
That's an overlord, I think. Out of character.
Is this a? Yeah, I see what you're referencing here, Stu, and I think it has multiple levels. I'm not happy with.
Well, we can discuss that after the session. So, yeah, you can all roll initiative if you like. I'm not fussed. If it makes you feel better.
Do they are? So, can I roll something to figure out how long these gentlemen have known that we are here?
Yes. Make a logic test at plus 20. You think, well, it's dark, so they can't see us in the dark, right?
Oh, got him.
Anyone else would like to roll?
I'll give it a shot.
I'm going to roll awareness to see if they've noticed us.
Grug
Yes.
not like skinny men. Tribe.
Do I get a bonus to seeing if they have noticed us using awareness?
Yeah, plus 10 on top of all your other bonuses.
I fail.
I
succeed.
I'll just...
Okay,
There we go.
Jesus.
Johanna, you think, well, it's dark, they can't have seen us, right? However, Voss, we're having made the logical deduction, despite not using the logic skill, I'm wearing night vision goggles. These guys probably have some kind of night vision. They've probably noticed us for a while.
Okay,
We're not exactly subtle.
do they haven't attacked us yet, presumably?
No, however, upon Voss sort of clicking and making the connection and presumably relaying it to the guys.
You'll
This-
realize they probably see us pretty well, right?
Can I choose not to believe that?
Y'all can believe what you want, but what you don't know can kill you.
Upon you making this realization, Voss, a head just turns to you slowly from the center of the room and says, "Ah, I was wondering when one of you maggots would notice.
Hi.
Welcome. I am Amalu the Keeper. Tell me, what are you doing down here?"
Just looking around, basically. We're looking for a crystal.
Yeah, we were wondering if there were any crystals here we could use to repair our ship. That is all.
Yep.
Ah. No wonder creatures as yourselves would want to plunder our facilities for resources.
Well, at first we thought it was just a mine, and then we got attacked and went down a hole. And now we're here.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just care about the crystal, to be honest.
Yeah, I
we're
don't
here for.
think we really want to take it from anyone. We could probably be open for trade, right? Right, boss?
Does the market call to you, Nonus?
Let's make a deal.
Could I? Could I roll? Okay, I'll just ask them. Is there anything that you fellas might be interested in acquiring?
Insectoids such as yourself. Or should I say, apes. It's what your species is related to. You couldn't offer us anything, I'm afraid. Just like those miners that came before you.
Well, us apes may not be able to offer much to you, but I do know one thing we can offer. Hey, Stu, I've got a question.
Yep.
So, like, would I have to roll something to try and catch him off guard and get a surprise attack in?
Yes.
Could I make a prepared action to charge someone and attack them as soon as they initiate hostile action?
Let's have a look at the skills.
I'm just standing here watching and aiming.
What would I roll to do a surprise attack?
Dude, offer them a job with the Iron Warriors.
Again?
Unironically. Oh no, dude, we could have them as the crew for our ship. That'd be amazing.
I don't think that
Would never work.
Imagine being the
great
boarding
kills.
crew trying to attack a vessel and you get in there and it's full of Necrons for no reason.
Okay.
Dude, imagine how terrifying that is. Necrons with a stable...
Give me your face!
Stable.
Necral's just looking at you and saying, "Oh, are you here to trade?"
Might as well give
And
it
you
a
just
shot.
sit there.
Stu, what would I roll to get a surprise attack?
Basically, I will permit one of you, and because you've promoted, I'll permit you to potentially make a surprise attack. You would have to make a deceive check, opposed by his awareness.
Is there anything other than deceive I can do?
Would the illusion of normality help me out with that? Because due to the...
Oh no.
Pretty sure that due to my allegiance with Khorne, they count as surprised for the first attack. Though that could be due to the mark of Khorne, in which case I do not have that.
While fucking Nulla is basically Johanna catches on to what Nulla is trying to do. She steps a little forward and says,
Actually, I do think we'd have something you'd be interested in. Look here.
and I'll do a deceive roll to try and distract them.
Just gonna flash your tits, aren't you?
What I'm saying is, gents, I don't think we want to fight these guys.
Okay,
No, wait.
If only...
Essentially, I can change this action now before it happens, but fucking nonetheless, are we fighting or are we not?
I mean, they're not gonna let us leave. I can't imagine they would.
I don't see a situation in which we fight, what, okay, at least 2 units of Necron Immortals. Probably close to like 3 or 5.
Essentially,
and a Lord
they're
and
the most
retinue.
pleasant ones, because there's also Tomb Guard.
in that case,
one
instead
overlord.
of going forward,
He's got a war side.
in that case, instead of going forward and saying that, Johanna will instead say,
I understand you might not, really like our, species, I guess, but we really don't have any business here aside from the crystals. Like, if we could just get them, we'd leave. Just like that.
Also, we could arrange it so that the people on this planet will not bother you. Ever.
True.
How does that sound?
now, for Johanna, what she just said is completely true. So she will, if she believes to be completely true, as she does not know what everyone else will do around her. So she will attempt a charm check.
You may attempt a charm check to convince him of the sincerity of your words.
Can I do a quick charming voice attempt? And might not work on it.
but I'd still like to attempt
You
it.
can try it, yes.
Oh fuck! I will spend a fate point to reroll that, as that was a
Yep,
double.
that's the perils.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, wasn't that a success?
No,
It was
but it's a double.
success, but it's a double.
Yeah, and it's the number of
Oh, 1 point. Jesus.
Oh Jesus. Anyway.
Yep.
That was indeed that was one of my fate points. Yeah, that's quite a few. That's quite a decent amount of degrees of success. And I don't know if that did anything. I'll let you calculate that on your side. This is what it does. And in case it worked, I have a psi rating of 4. And I will now attempt the charm check. Do I get any additional bonuses?
No.
Wish me luck. I will spend another fate point if I can. I have a 50% chance of success. Come on, game. I will spend another fate point to reroll
Alright.
Why you have to be mad?
It's only game.
Oh no!
Nolus, could you give a point, maybe?
Sure. I'll give her one of my points using my epic skill, inspiring presence.
Epic leader dab.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I will, normally you don't reroll, but I will permit it because Nolus is sacrificing another fate point.
Hold on for just a second.
One Mississippi.
Jesus. That would have been a success, I think, as well.
Mm-hmm. So I guess it's just being gay. This is probably gonna fail now.
Oh, just. That was a 53 on a 53.
Pessimism wins again.
I fucking hate this game.
Amaru kind of turns to you, Johanna, and just kind of goes, like, he's not quite buying it, you think, but he's not offended, so to speak.
I mean, nothing I said was a lie.
Yeah.
As far as Johanna knows, absolutely nothing of what she said was a lie.
Does anyone here have logic?
Our logic, the machine.
No.
You gotta remember, this thing is beyond the machine in a lot of ways.
She is. Essentially, as far as Johanna is concerned, she sees lots of scary robots. She might have. There's a god on her side, but lots of scary robots though, and a weird sarcophagus with souls inside them. And their job was just to get the crystals. So let's just get the crystals and get out. This place is scary.
He basically considers your words, Johanna, kind of just hums and mulls them over, and then he turns to Euron and says, "You are the old warrior of this party, I can tell." Kind of shows in his stance. You really think you could tell the surface dwellers to leave our facility alone?
Yes, I sincerely do. I have sufficient leverage, and I'm sure this could be arranged. Because it is in the interest of neither of us to battle on this place.
Well, what you said is true, Ron, so could you make
Better
me...
yet, if we just didn't tell anybody that you were down here, and made sure that this mine stayed secure, we could make sure that nobody bothered you.
we're known for it. We're
I'm
known for it.
intrigued, young insects. Here's what I would propose. You wish the Ludamite crystal, yes?
Yes.
Give you a small portion of them for your repairs or whatever it is you wish to do. You need to tell me something.
What do you require?
Who are you? All of you. And what resides above us? Who lives on this world now? You
I
see,
guess.
We are soldiers of the warband The Invisible Hand. The world above you is inhabited by mostly humans, or apes, as you like to call us.
indeed.
They're mostly the same as us. In different varying ways.
Who do they support politically?
Politically, they're not friends of the Empire of Man.
Interesting.
Or the Imperium of Man.
A
rather.
secessionist group. Or something else.
Well,
Something like
I
that.
suppose you could say both, in a way.
Oh yeah, Ron shall hold up his hand and say, "Don't be threatened by it." He turns off the illusion.
But yes, partly bit of a secessionist group. Some more, perhaps, religiously inspired. It's quite a diverse faction.
He might soon, if he has been studying us all for a while now, he might be able to notice Johanna's quite obvious inclination, considering her face.
So,
Oh shit.
he turns to Ron as he kind of breaks the illusion and goes, the Gene Warriors of the Apes. I thought as much.
Yes.
Rather old one as well. Legionis
Relatively
Astartes. Yes. Grand name. Are the ones above you also Legionis Astartes?
Not all of them.
But there are
Some.
more.
Yes.
Interesting. Excuse me for 2 minutes. My guards will look after you. He basically turns around and rests his skeletal robotic palms on the sarcophagi and seems to stand motionless for a few minutes. You may all roll awareness to, or logic to figure out what you might be doing.
Yeet.
Good thing we have us.
Yeah.
Hey.
Some of you can't quite make it out, but a few of you, particularly Voss, seem to concur that he may be communing with his superiors. That's what it looks like. For some kind of hidden communication. They're not sure of what nature.
So that's how the Necrons do Vox, eh? Communication through sarcophagus.
It's a strange.
You reckon he might just be posturing, in all honesty? It might not even be part of his what he needs to do. He's just doing it to be make a
Because
show
we're
of it.
apes.
Yeah.
We wouldn't know any better. than to recognize his theatrics.
I'm gonna go get another drink of water, so I'll let you quickly surmise how you want to react from here.
So,
Huh.
are we legitimately planning to add the Necrons to our little trade organization?
My dude, if it succeeds, that's...
This would be fucking mad. But
The-
if it works, I'm in.
This fucking warband has done more for interracial relations than the Imperium has done in over several millennia.
My dude, we're gonna turn into the 40k equivalent of Noah's Ark. Just if we play our
Lads.
cards correctly.
Lads, we are basically creating what will bring down the Dark
Now,
Imperium after
mi-
Fall of
mind
Cadia.
you, if this fails, it means that a large portion of Necrons have quite a bit of intel on us and what is on the surface. So bear that.
Well,
Because this could
only
backfire
what they've
pretty
been
badly.
only what they've been able to gather. They know our name, but but in the big picture of things, we're a small warband, aren't we? They don't know, so we cannot tell them that it's the Iron Warriors specifically.
Yeah, we don't tell them specifics
Right,
about the others.
Be
We
all
can tell
vague.
them maybe generally.
That they are. Remember, they view us as dumb apes, so we have to play on that and let them continue to believe we are dumb apes.
Exactly.
So, if we don't make it seem like we're actively hiding the specifics, then they will most likely believe that it's because we have no specifics to hide.
Yeah.
Because we're dumb, you know?
Exactly.
I'm thinking that Ron will just introduce himself under his actual name.
I mean, like, we try not to lie, but say, for example, when we said diverse, and they had to themselves come with the conclusion that, oh, you have the Space Marines.
Mm-hmm. Like, the fact that there's humans and space marines above them shouldn't come as a surprise, usually.
But other things.
But if they knew that the world that they're what we have essentially confirmed as a craft world is inhabited by a chaos legion. Well, that could be quite that could be problematic.
Well, we didn't specify that it was actually a Legion chapter.
Exactly. That's the point. They know that there's space marines and humans above us, but that could just be renegades.
Yes.
They
could
don't
just
know
be
specifics.
Well, the thing is, does he know whether... do they know about the Horus Heresy? That's the question. Because he specifically mentioned Legiones Astartes and not Adeptus.
We have no fucking clue, man. He said Legiones Astartes. That probably means he's really fucking old.
Yeah, and on
So
top of
That's
that,
what I'm thinking.
the fact that he's willingly talking to us and not actively killing us is a rare occurrence.
Yeah, he is one of the
Progressive Necron Overlord.
No, he's one of the awakened ones. Some overlords regained their full mental faculties and personality after the turning of the 40th to the 41st.
But dude, imagine how terrifying Necrons would be if they have access to warp travel.
Mm-hmm. Luckily,
Okay.
these ones aren't.
Necrons don't need warp travel, I'll make that clear.
They're just very slow, that's
Can't
the
they
thing.
just teleport and
Yeah,
shit?
they can literally just teleport. They have special tech for it.
Lucky
Mhm.
bastards.
They can't teleport as far as warp travel takes them, but it's still pretty fucking far.
Amaru. Is there any particular actions you'd like to take in the meantime?
After he's done, Ron shall introduce himself as Asterian Muller. Which is true.
Alright. He basically turns around and basically says, "My Lord Bedan of the Neferu requires more information. Firstly, what legion resides above you?"
So, what knowledge roll do we have to make to say a half-truth in the form of the origin legion of the Iron Warriors?
I mean,
That
I'm pretty
would
sure the
definitely-
Iron Warriors always were just the Iron Warriors.
True. Then I suppose that's
They
what we'll
never
have to
changed.
say.
They always stayed the same, actually. One of the few legions that did.
Then I suppose that is what we'll have to say.
Yeah.
The
Then-
Iron Warriors.
The Iron Warriors under Lord Petarabo, Hammer of Olympia. Fine warrior.
See you, Bill.
See it?
Good night, Bill.
Right.
Berdun also asks, what is the current state of the Imperium of Man?
How do you mean?
How are they doing in general?
They're pretty big.
Geopolitically.
Are you familiar with the Horus Heresy?
I am very familiar with the Horus Heresy.
Good. Well, things have not improved for them.
They are still crumbling, decadent,
Yes.
under delusions of grandeur.
That would be accurate.
And what of the ruinous ones? The ones who follow the dark gods of the Materium? How are they doing?
The face of Shanesh looks at him curiously by what he means by that.
They have significantly grown in comparison to the Imperium.
I see. Just to point out, by the way, Kenny the Wart Moth mysteriously disappeared before you entered this chamber.
This is so sad.
And seems fluttered away for a bit.
Kenny, what are you doing?
Like, my character has no idea what the Horus Heresy is. What are Necrons? Why is a bunch of robots beneath the planet? Why is Ron suddenly has a different name? Why is he talking to the robots, and why are the robots talking to us? What's going on?
Just dial-up sounds.
It's fine, Joanna. I also have no idea.
Have you ever seen that face someone makes when they're trying to smile and stay strong, but they're on the verge of tears?
Yes, you are, and you say you're fine, but you're not really fine.
Exactly. That's basically Joanna at the moment.
But you can't say that because they'd never understand. Ugh.
So,
Somebody once told me.
Oh no.
anything else?
What was his name again?
Amaru the Keeper.
Amaru, sir?
Yes. child. I shall confer with Bedan for a brief moment. Cat just pauses for a couple of seconds. And then opens his eyes again. And looks to you all and says, "My Lord Bedan requires you for further questioning."
Very well.
And those are?
He wishes more information upon the nature of this world.
The nature of the world itself or its inhabitants, do you believe?
The inhabitants, primarily. Now, it could take you all in and do a thorough examination of your brains. Or, one of you could, sorry. He continues. One of you could submit yourself to my gaze, so I could glean the truth from you more directly.
Gaze?
If one of you would like to offer.
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
To
Could
put
she-
it in simple terms for your ape minds, you will come forth. I shall use one of my many devices, and I will directly extract the information from you.
Actually, I shouldn't be the one to... I definitely shouldn't be the one.
Would that be painful?
Or fatal?
Oh, indeed.
Would it be fatal, though?
What did you say, Zeb?
Would it be fatal? Would it cure death?
I am unsure.
That doesn't sound like a very good deal, quite frankly.
Depends how
Yeah.
strong you think you are mentally. I also
Can I
sincerely
ask some?
Yeah, go on.
Can I ask something, Stu?
Yep.
The crow, the voice, the voice that's been plaguing Johanna for a while. Does he have something to say about all this?
Nothing as of yet. However, you feel the warp moth's voice in your head. And it says to you, "Don't do it, young Johanna. Could very likely kill many of you. You're not quite tough enough, even with Father Nurgle's blessings."
I do not believe we are willing to be submitted under your gaze. Fatality is rather out of the question.
That is unfortunate. My lord was rather hoping to gather the information.
We
But
can
yes, child?
we can still. We're still willing to answer any questions, but I think it'd probably be better if there wasn't a chance of fatality when asking a question.
The fatality is not guaranteed, as I said. But your life is also not guaranteed.
Do you find this is the only way to guarantee you get the information you desire?
Well, there is another way to gather information. I take you all in for a examination, shall we say. Or we deduce what we can from your cadavers.
And so be it. I will volunteer.
Oof.
Well,
Do the rest of you wish to react in any way?
I will.
His body, his choice.
Well,
Damn, son.
I will mutter in an OC fashion. It's like dealing with the EU.
well, it wouldn't be a good idea if I were to be the one to volunteer because I've had a few.
I've had a few.
I've had a lot of run-ins with the Necrons.
All my character will say to Civ is, "Are you sure?"
Yes.
Are you really, really, really sure?
Well, I might die, but it's better than we all die, or they all die, and we have to burn these bridges. Even then, they are terrible. Compared to
Before you step forth, Ziv, you hear a voice in your head say, "You are brave, young Ziv." It's from Kenny the Warmoth. But no, I cannot help you in this.
You should have been a wizard.
Oof.
Starts shooting lightning bolts.
How do you want to react now, Ziv?
Civ is going to sort of wait for a little bit, be a bit reluctant, but he's still gonna step forward.
Okay.
Let me see.
The skeletal guards move slightly, and Amaru approaches you and says, "I was not expecting this. Somewhat courageous for the imps.
well,
Try to relax." And he places a hand down the back of your head. And you feel a sharp pain go into your neck all of a sudden as his fingertips embed themselves into your spinal column. And Ziv, make me a -30 toughness test.
Oof.
Minus 30?
Yep.
Prepare those fucking fate points, boys.
Oh,
Great
hell
leader.
yeah.
You may use a fate point if you wish. I can't reveal what will happen as of yet.
I'm out.
You're out.
Hey.
Inspiringly, you just hear the voice of Captain
can
Nella
do it,
go,
buddy.
"Remember your training."
Please don't expire.
Oh.
Yeah, you can
Dude.
use one of Nella's.
Oh.
Actually, suppose technically, I suppose
Damn it.
there's technically something I can do. It's a bit of a weird one though. And it's essentially, I can use psychic power to command Civ not to die.
That's a weird one.
That is very experimental.
The
I
only
like
way
that.
you'd succeed is if you were to frenzy, then you get a +10 to tough.
I would be pushing it to the max, is what I'm saying.
Push it to the limit.
But we'll see what happens.
Ziv, your mind, as this horrible agony as these metal tendrils are just intruding upon your spine and into your very mind, Your eyes start to glaze over into the back of your head as he's like supporting you with his metal arm, and you go back to the very earliest memories of your life.
Oh boy, this is not going to be a nice tale.
So, you remember your child. Where did you grow up, Ziv, by the way?
Cadia.
Cadia, so you remember your training on Cadia as a young lad, learning the lasgun before you could learn to read and write, going for hikes in the mountains every day with all the other lads and lasses of the Cadian White Shields. Remembering all their tactical briefings. Remembering faith in the Emperor. You remember how proud your parents were at graduation day. They even smiled for a moment during that day. You even remember inquisitors in the crowd on Cadia. You remember, strangely enough, Ziv, could you make me a... let's see, what would be a good test for memories? Logic, maybe? Or something else?
Let me check for a moment, cause it could either be inquiry, logic, scrutiny. I'd say
Scrutiny would be a good one, I think, actually.
I'd say if I were to personally make a recommendation, I guess scrutiny using the intelligence.
Yeah.
Instead of perception.
You can. I'm gonna say you can't use perception or into whatever you want, Ziv. I'm gonna say actually.
Okay, that was scrutiny or inquiry or just inquiry.
Scrutiny, but using. Basically, make me either a perception or int test.
Okay.
Your choice.
I'll try the scrutiny. Unfortunately, I have nothing in it.
Okay. You don't remember specifically what they were called. But you remember two figures in the crowd who were standing together up with the Lord Castellans of Cadia and all the other high officers as the new regiments of White Shields were being formed as you passed your graduation training. And you remember their faces in the crowd. They were at a distance, but you just pick out a lady who... Now, despite the horrible agony going through your head as these memories are dragged up, you remember her as the lady that you saw in the Red Sun while you were knocked out during the fight. 'Cause I don't think you were in the boss battle, were you, Ziv?
Because you were thinking the one with the Dark Elf.
No, the one before that.
No.
Your cat wasn't around yet, but I'm going to just say he was on the bridge, so you do remember vaguely seeing her. You also see a gentleman next to her, who looks very strange. He's a gentleman with greying hair and glowing blue optic eyes, standing next to her as well. You don't know who he is, but he seems like a lord of some kind, possibly another inquisitor. Then your memories go through some more, and it kind of becomes a blur now as these memories are a little bit less focused, like going through a couple of conflict zones, spend a bit of time on some jungle planet, a little bit of time in the desert, going through a bunch of different worlds and different campaigns, till eventually you reach that dreaded place that haunts you still to this day. What was it called again, Ziv? The planet you're...
Hindrance.
Hindrance, yeah. Or the 666 Cadians. Where decimated almost to a man. And your mind has repressed a lot of these memories, but now they just come to the fore as you just see the blood The death, the agony, the screaming, the toxic gas just filtering through the air. The air's just mucky with fog, grit, and just steel, and just artillery noises going off all around. But most of all, just the screaming. It just doesn't stop, ringing in your ears constantly, even through the night, till eventually just silence, and then dawn breaks. Your hands just coated in blood. Your knife bent, having gone through so many ribs of the enemy soldiers. Your entrenching tool still in one piece, but very bloody and dented. Your las gun long since dried up. And it's just you there, in the bleak silence of the dawn of the new day. Nothing around you except corpses of all those kids you trained with. And then you look just exhausted on your feet, hopeless. The Emperor didn't help you this day. Or maybe he did. It's kinda hard to make up your mind on that one. You just see a figure emerging over the crest of the hill wearing red power armor, holding an ornate book, carrying loads of incense bearers around his person. And you remember him as the voice of chaos. And then your memories once again go a bit hazy as you remember various ships you're traveling on, getting into a few fights, and other more deranged activities. Till eventually your memories return more to the present of the Red Sun and its colourful crew, shall we say, and one of your first deaths, shall we say, when fighting the Eldar Corsair. And how Father Nurgle brought you back from the brink. And then suddenly, you feel the pressure leave your neck, but the agony still just burning in the back of your mind. And it's like the worst headache you have in your mind, and you stumble to the floor. But you're still conscious, as if you suffer 1 level fatigue.
Sir.
And 5 wounds unsaved by unmitigated anything.
Sir.
You also suffer 5 permanent toughness damage, as the nerve probe just has really messed up some of your spine. Has really messed up your spinal column.
That could have been bad if Johanna didn't.
Yeah, that. Holy shit.
Lord Amaru steps away for a moment and states, "You are a strong one, little fellow. I appreciate the information, as does Lord Bedan. We have confirmed you are a Chaos Warband of the Ruinous Powers. And he turns to you, Ron, and says, Old warrior of the Astartes, I will permit this trade, but you must ensure the warriors of iron do not come down here. They leave us undisturbed. If not, the Neferu dynasty will find the rest of the Minotaurs.
You have my word.
I'm glad we understand each other. And he turns to the rest of you and says, I think you can find your way out. I shall present the crystal momentarily. And one of the guards off to the side picks up something here and hands it to you, Ron. And just then silently walks away back to its original posting.
Ask Valenia to make sure it's the right stuff.
Valenia staying utterly silent during the 6th stage. Could you all make awareness checks as Valenia approaches?
I don't know if I'm really in a state.
Okay, yeah, no, you, sorry.
That would be 6 degrees of success.
Okay, Valenia, despite being a heavily augmented member of the Mechanicus, she looks terrified as this exchange was going on and hasn't uttered a word. It kind of just mouses over. And she says, analysis, Lord Nalla.
Yes, could you analyze the stones?
Analyzing. Confirmed, Ludamite. This is what we are looking for.
Is it enough?
Confirmed. It will be sufficient.
Alright. Thank you for not killing our friend at the end of the procedure, and thank you for the trade.
Johanna will do a slight curtsy towards the elder.
Thank you for your hospitality.
I am sure. Do not return.
Doesn't Johanna have the Voxcaster?
Yeah, for now.
Ron shall walk over to you and ask for it.
She hands it to you, somewhat absent-mindedly.
Right. What's our call sign again?
Nova Squad.
Nova Squad.
Also, I just want to say, we are very fucking lucky that I do believe Civ was unconscious when I made the call about the Necrons.
Right, Ron shall Vox back to
Really
base.
fucking lucky about that, actually. Holy shit.
You might want to wait to Vox back on until we're outside.
Yes, because remember, on the other side, they know there are Necrons there.
Mm-hmm. Remember, I called it in, but Civ was unconscious when I did that, so the Necrons don't know.
That I actually forgot, but I'm really fucking lucky.
I'll just Vox in as soon as possible, saying, telling them to cancel any hostile, any offensive operations.
Let's do that afterwards. We'll do that after. We'll do that after until we're after outside.
Yeah.
Do not do it now, please.
Yeah.
So, I think we'll end the session there as you hurriedly leave the chamber. With your new gifts in tow. Kenny appears alongside you momentarily as you leave. And I think we shall end it here for the night. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen.
Just one thing.
Yep.
The moment Johanna is out of the cave, she will, with shaky fingers, roll a joint, light it, and smoke it.
420 blaze it.
Make sure you say your lines, too.
Well, we will see you all again soon. Oh, no, that's not my line. That's the arch line. And on that bombshell, good night!